They said, sir, you have to do it. I said, do what? They said, sir, you have to do it. I said, you mean be Donald Trump for Halloween? They said, no, sir, you are Donald Trump. You are the Donald Trump. You have to run for president again. That is what we mean. And I said, I'll take a look into it. I'll take a look into it because, quite frankly, I ran the second time when Biden was a little bit sharper than he is right now, a little bit sharper, but I said I will take a look into it, but I have to come back stronger. I have to come back with a stronger and a different frame of reference, because for some reason, the opponent that we have right now is apparently a black female. She is black, so I have to change my strategy to win the African American vote strongly, because if she is coming into these communities and she is pretending to be something that the African American community can relate to, then it's going to affect the ratings. So they asked me, they said, sir, how are you going to get the African American vote? By the way, do you like my tan? It's an amazing tan. It's probably the greatest tan I've ever gotten, and I've gotten many tans before, but not like this one. And they asked me, how are you going to get the African American vote? And I said, watch, you'll see, watch. And here we are standing today. I went dark, and they said, sir, what happened to your hair? What happened to the gorgeous hair that you have? The gorgeous hair you had. And I said I wanted to get the African American vote, so I thought I would get the Michael Jordan look. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. I thought I would get a look like that, but I didn't want to go too dark, because if I went too dark, it would be too much for the American people, and if I went too light, they would say, you are just the same person like last time, although that's not such a bad thing, right? Not such a bad thing. It's not such a bad thing at all. Look at the crowd, it's amazing. It's a big crowd. Big crowd. They said, sir, I think you're going to win the African American vote with this look, and I have this gorgeous body. I remember when I was considering running again for the third time. I was considering to run again for the third time. Then I was scrolling on my phone, and I looked at my phone one afternoon, and I looked at it, and I saw a video. It was the most beautiful video I've ever seen in my entire life. It was the rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. This kid out of nowhere just comes in and starts playing, and his hands are running up the piano and down the piano, and it's just everywhere. It's probably the greatest rendition of the Star Spangled Banner that I've ever come across. It's the greatest one, I think. And so I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play this wonderful video for you. And I think it's going to be a video that will inspire you to love this country again, stronger than ever before. So watch this rendition of this piece and take a look at this piece. Take a look at this video. What an incredible video. What an incredible video. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Where is he? Is he out there in the crowd? Where is he? His name is Nathanael Francis. His stage Music name nathanaelfra on social media. Where is he? He's out there somewhere. He's out there somewhere. What an incredible guy. What an incredible talented guy. He just plays this piano so courageously. He plays the piano, and he told me about the situation that's happening with our young people, and he wants to fix the social situation that's happening. When you look at what's happening with the young people and their dating lives are a mess. They're on these dating apps, these Bumble, Twitter, not Twitter, but Bumble and the other one, I don't know what it's called, but eHarmony or something like that. There's like three of them, Tinder and all of those apps that are poisoning the youth. Quite frankly, I'm hearing many reports. The young people are coming out, they're saying that they cannot find a partner. And Kamala is not helping this situation at all. I think she's not even paying attention with what's happening. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is sleeping in his office, in his chair. He's sleeping. He doesn't even know where he is. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where he is. He has no idea where he is. Joe Biden is sleeping in his chair while the American people are suffering. They're suffering a great loss. A great, great loss. By the way, don't you think it's a great thing that I don't need a teleprompter? I don't need to read off of a teleprompter. I don't need that teleprompter to read off of like these crooked politicians. They need their teleprompters. They need their prepared speeches. They need everything all prepared. Sometimes I ask them, I say, what's going to happen if something went wrong with the teleprompter? And we saw that today when it happened to Kamala. The teleprompter stopped working and she froze and she didn't know what to say. But Trump doesn't need a teleprompter. He just speaks off the top of his head because my IQ is so... It's probably the greatest IQ, the biggest IQ ever. And these young people are suffering. They're suffering a tremendous deal. They're suffering a tremendous deal. Do you see, by the way, I'm able to do the weave. I can go into one conversation and come back, talk about a different topic, and circle right back into the topic of the dating situation that's happening with the young people. It's a very interesting situation that's happening with the young people, the dating situation. They're not able to find a partner. They're not able to find real love. They're finding fake love, like the fake news media that's all around. You see all that fake news media all over there. There's a lot of fake news, a lot of fake news, a lot of fake news. So the young people are suffering a great deal, and Nathaniel comes over with this amazing app called YenZek. He says that this can help. You've got people on Tinder paying $500 a month just to find somebody, and I think that's a tremendous scam. It's probably the greatest scam, probably since Obamacare. I think it's probably the greatest scam of all time. And they're ripping off the young people, and the young people are suffering so much. They can't even afford to buy a home. They can't afford to raise a family. Quite frankly, they are not interested in having families, and I think it has to do with a lot of what's happening. If you look at what's happening with the dating situation, with the financial situation, the Biden financial situation that he created a mess. He did a mess. What a mess he did. He's doing such a terrible job. And these young people are suffering. So this young man comes up with a platform called YenZek. He says that this platform is a great platform for these people, and I'm like, I have truth. Truth is pretty good, but when I took a look at what he had and I saw it, I said it's pretty great, a platform that allows you to tell stories and connect with people, and basically all you have to do is tell your story. And when you share your story, you can connect with people. There's no scams or gimmicks or anything like that. It isn't a dating app. He said it's not a dating app. You just connect with people through your stories. I think that concept is a beautiful concept, so I will be sharing my story. I'm going to share a lot of stories during my campaign and during my presidency. If you vote, I will be sharing your stories as well. So if you go on YenZek.com, you go on YenZek, that's Y for Y as in, what can we say? Y as in probably yes. Y as in yes. We can say E as in eagle. That's N as in nostril. That is Z as in zebra. And that is E as in elephant. And K as in Kamala. Kamala. YenZek.com. Too bad it doesn't have a T in there. I would like to say it's T as in Trump, but that's probably for Truth Social. But if you go on there and you tell your story, I will feature your story on here. I'll feature the story of the American people. You can tell a story about how all these stories there's on there. There's so many incredible stories already that's on there. Some people tell stories about how they don't like their university class. Other people tell stories about how they got robbed. Other people tell stories about their dating lives, but probably the most interesting story that caught my eye is the fact when someone got robbed. I think there were three stories. And that reminds me of when I was debating Kamala Harris. She said that, actually, I said that crime was up and lying that lying weasel that was moderating us, he said that no, crime is down, sir, that you are lying. And I said no. But you know how the fake media news are? They just lie and they say that you need to be fact checked, and they fact check me and they say that it's false, but it wasn't false. In fact, if you take a look at it, crime was up. Crime is up. It's soaring through the roof like never before. Crime is so high. It's such a mess. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I've been listening to the stories that the young people have been telling about crime. How crime is up. And this one lady, for example, she was robbed from Temple University. She told me a story of how she was robbed. She was going onto the bus, and a 12-year-old boy just robbed her, just took her wallet out of her jacket pocket and just robbed her completely, and she didn't know what was going on. Quite frankly, the boy realized that she was broke and gave her her purse back, which had her passport on it. Incredible things that are happening to our young people. Incredible things that are happening. You know, they come to me with all these problems. They say, Trump, you should fix these problems. I said, you have to vote for it. You have to vote. You have to go out there and vote. You have to go out there and vote. You have to go out there and vote. They come to me with all these problems, like a problem that's facing the young people again. They say that the girls are being affected on Instagram. They're saying that they're doing something with their faces like you've never seen, the likes of which you've never seen before. They're changing their faces in ways that you've never seen. Changing the anatomy of their face to look like a certain individual. And I said, how is that a big problem? And they said, sir, it's a mighty, massive problem. So I said, I'll take a look into it. So I took a look into it and I saw a incredible photo of on my feed on Instagram. It's an Instagram feed. I saw a photo of Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, that's the Lindsay Lohan, if you're not mistaken. And if you're not too young to remember, if you're old enough to remember, Lindsay Lohan was the woman that was walking in and out of rehabs left and right. She would come in and come out and come in clean and come out and come in and come out. It was incredible. That woman was going through hell like no other. She was going through hell. She was going through She was going through a terrible time, can you say? She was going through a terrible time. So they had this photo of this Lindsay Lohan before and after photo. So I took a look at the before photo. If you look at the before photo, I'm going to show you the photo of Lindsay Lohan before. You see a photo of her with baggy eyes. She has baggy eyes. She has a saggy face and baggy eyes. And I took a look at the after photo, and it was quite shocking because if you take a look at the after photo and compare it to the before photo, you see a woman that looks completely different. She looks incredibly stunning like you've never seen before. Looks so healthy. She has the makeup on and she kind of resembles Kim Kardashian. They were saying in the comment section below, they were saying, you look like Kim Kardashian, you look like Kim Kardashian with blonde hair. Kim Kardashian with blonde hair. I said, how is that a bad thing? They said, sir, everyone is looking like the Kardashians. I said, but Lindsay Lohan looks, quite frankly, she looks pretty great. And I took a look at a photo again, the photo of the before and after, and I was in complete awe. I was in complete shock of what I saw. And I said, it's either therapy or it's probably the Kim Kardashian effect. It's either therapy or she is trying to keep up with the Kardashians. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. I've got to say, it's so incredible what they're doing. It's so incredible how these young people are able to come together and create interesting things, and we want to do that. We want to inspire America again. I remember Elon. Elon came to me. Elon said, Trump, sir, what you're doing is incredible. Elon was tweeting away. You know, he has this thing to save free speech. He wants to save free speech. So Elon comes in and he says, I want to save free speech. And the only person who is trying to save free speech is Trump. Trump's the only person to try to save free speech. Kamala is not so fond of the idea because if you take a look at what she's able to do, she's able to walk into an interview. So CBS has an interview, 60 minutes. They have the 60 minutes and they throw her. It's a softball interview. It's a completely softball interview she has, and she can't even function properly. She's just falling all over the place with her words. They can't even understand her. She's saying one thing, and you know how I'm able to do the weave? I'm able to do the famous weave. You can go into one direction in the conversation and come back around. But she's not able to do that. She just ends up somewhere in the forest and stays there, and the conversation goes left field. And so she's in this softball interview with the fake CBS News. And she's in this softball interview, and she's falling all over the place. Quite frankly, she's just falling all over the place. Terrible. She's doing terribly in the interview, and she's able to just change her words. She's able to just go in there, and she has an answer, and it's a terrible answer. And she goes back in there with her team, and they say, CBS, can you change the answer that I have? Can you imagine if I wanted to do something like that? And I would never do anything like that. I don't need to do anything like that. She goes in there, she's like, I'm going to change my answer to something else. I'm going to change my answer. She changes her answer. It's the fakest thing you would ever see. It's baloney. It's so bad. It's terrible. It's quite terrible. So the things that the young people are noticing, they're noticing a lot of things. And that's because of the strategy that I've had to go on many podcasts. You see, my team and I, so excellently and so bravely and courageously and strategically and smartly, we just landed ourselves on many podcasts. I was on the Joe Rogan podcast the other day. I was on the Flagrant podcast. I was on the Sean Ryan podcast. I was on many podcasts. I was on the Dave podcast. I've been on many podcasts, probably more podcasts than Kamala has ever been. And you see, these podcasts are long podcasts. They're long. They're like 4 hours long. Kamala can't. She can't even do 15 minutes, and she starts falling over. And I come out of these podcasts like I'm ready to run 3 miles around this beautiful park. I'm ready to run 6 miles after a 3 long podcast. That's how strong your leader is. Your leader is able to withstand the test of time, even a bullet. They say that I am bulletproof now. They're saying that now. Can you imagine when that bullet whisked past my ear? I knew exactly what was happening. They ask me all the time. They say, "Sir, did you feel like you were going to die or something like that?" And I said, "No." I knew exactly what hit me. I knew exactly what was happening, and I knew we were in trouble. And so when that bullet came through, if I was 1 millimeter to the right, I would have not been here today standing before you. But that bullet whisked through my ear, and I felt something in my ear, and I came down, and when I came down, the brave servicemen and women jumped all over me. They jumped all over me so bravely and courageously. They jumped all over me so bravely and courageously. And I wanted to go up. I wanted to show the American people how strong I was. But they said, "Sir, you have to stay down. This is a very dangerous situation. The shooter is still active. He is not. He is still functioning, and he's still shooting these rifles, and he's shooting everywhere." And I said, "I need to go up, and I need to show the American people that how strong I am, how much I care for them, and how much I am ready to support them in their time of desperation, because quite frankly, when the bullets were flying, they didn't have anyone to crawl under. They didn't have someone to crawl under, so I wanted to show my support. I wanted to show them that I was just like you. And so, bravely and courageously, I raised my fist into the air, and quite famously, I said, "Fight, fight, fight." I said, "Fight, fight, fight." You gotta fight. If you want to win, you have to fight. You have to fight. You see, the fake news, they're all out there. They're just watching and waiting to twist your words and say something that you've never said. They're waiting to say crazy things about you. They're waiting to accuse you of a lot of things, but you have to fight. You have to fight, and if you fight, 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 you will win, win, win. Sometimes you will get losses, but you will get back up, and you will never give up. You can't give up. You can't give up. Not a second. Biden, they will tell you that you can give up, but they say that all the winners in the races, they said everyone can win. No, you can't. You have to be the strongest. You have to be strong. You have to fight, and you have to win. And fight and win we will. Fight and win we will. We will fight and we will win. What an amazing crowd out there. It's a great crowd. It's a great crowd. The sun is going down. The sun is going down. And it reminds me of when I was contemplating on my Air Force plane, and I was on the plane, and I was contemplating the time when we were in Afghanistan. It was a dangerous situation because they had to turn off all the lights. They had to turn off all the lights on the plane, and the brave, courageous fighter pilots they turned off all the lights, and they were able to land so beautifully. It was like the Elon rocket, the rocket that shot up straight into the air. When the rocket was flying into the air, I was thinking about how great our country is, or used to be, you can quite frankly say, because the Biden administration, they want to tear things around, and they want to poison our country with these illegal migrants, these illegal immigrants coming into the country. They're pouring into our country. They're destroying our country. If you take a look at what's happening in our country in Springfield, there were reports saying that someone was eating the cats and the dogs. And they tried to say that that was fake news, but that is not fake news. They were literally eating the cats and the dogs. They were eating the cats and the dogs. And I turned to Melania because she has a beautiful cat, Melania. Melania has a beautiful cat. I said, Melania, are you afraid that they're going to eat your cat? And she said, how dare you say that? How dare you say that people will eat your cat? How dare you say they will eat my cat? I said, Melania, I would never allow anyone to eat your cat. I would never allow it, never. And she said, I would never either. My cat is reserved for you, Donald Trump. She said, my cat is reserved for you. She said, my cat is reserved for you. What an incredible woman Melania is. Melania is incredible. Where is she? She's out there somewhere. Supporting our campaign, supporting us for all these years. She's been an incredible woman. She's been probably the greatest, most incredible woman that you probably have ever seen. Very great woman. And you need someone like that by your side. So that's why I understand what the American youth are going through. They're suffering. They cannot find relationships. They can't find meaningful relationships online. It's all these fake people and all these models that are pretending to talk to them, but they are not talking to them on different social platforms, and it's destroying the dating lives of many people that they just want to give up. But we have a solution right now in front of you. It's called YenZek, and it's a platform that allows you to share your story. And I want to feature all your stories, so when I come out with the next rally, I will feature some of the stories that you share right now. So if you go into the comment section below and share your story, I will feature you in the next rally. And I hope that our rally is a rally of victory, because we will win back the White House. We will win back the White House. And I will continue to do these rallies. Hopefully I will continue to do more rallies than ever before. I stand before you today with a message of hope, a hopeful message to the American people that we will fight and we will win. And we will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America safe again. We will make America strong again. Our military has been, if you look at what happened in Afghanistan, the way Biden just pulled out of Afghanistan is unbelievable. He just pulled out of Afghanistan, and the equipment that he left over, all those Afghan people with the equipment that they have, millions and billions of equipment that they have, they're so happy. We foolishly pulled out. Biden pulled out. Probably pulled out in a fashion that he should have pulled out in other fashions, but in this situation, he pulled out faster than he would have ever pulled out in other situations, if you know what I mean. So he pulls out, and he makes a disgrace to our military. Our military's in shambles. It's a disgrace. What he did to our military, it's a disgrace. It's such a disgrace what he did to our military. And that allowed people like Vladimir Putin, someone that I had a great relationship with. You see, I had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin. I had a great relationship with Xi, a great relationship with Kim Jong-un. And Vladimir Putin just walks into Ukraine, and Biden just lets it happen. They said he has a tough, strong rhetoric. He's going to start all these wars. When they failed to realize that during my presidency, I had no wars. There were no wars under my administration. No wars under my administration, and we Ukraine would have never happened. Ukraine would have never happened. It would have never happened. If I were president, Ukraine would have never happened. Israel also would have never happened. Israel October 7th would have never happened. And so, if you vote for me, I will terminate these wars as quickly and as swiftly as possible. I will terminate them as fast as possible so that you, the American people, don't have to suffer the consequences of the high prices that have been so high you can't even buy food. You can't even buy food. Gas are too high. You can't even drive to work. If Kamala and her constituents win the election, what will happen is you won't see in America again. You probably won't see America after a couple of years. She's going to destroy the country. She's going to destroy the country. We have to get her out. Kamala Harris has done a terrible job. She's done a terrible job. We have to get her out. We have to take her out of the White House. We have to tell her, Kamala, you're fired, Kamala. You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. You're fired. Get out of here. You are fired. You're fired. You're such a terrible person. You're fired. Get out of here. Get out of here. I bring a message of hope to the people, to the American people. I bring a message of hope that in these United States we will unite together as one and come together. We will come together in harmony and peace in this great movement to make America strong again, to make America safe again, and to finally make America great again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.